Moments of inspiration mixed with time to network, IBJ Media Events has you covered. From industry deep dives to awards celebrating Indiana's top leaders, see what's coming up and reserve your seat at ibj.com/RSVP.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. As the Illinois legislature continues to mull a potential incentive package, Indiana Governor Mike Braun believes Northwest Indiana still has a shot at landing a multi-billion-dollar Chicago Bears stadium project, in part because of the city of Chicago's financial straits.
Maybe flirting with figuratively or literally a bankruptcy where 40% of their operating budget is servicing debt. And now mostly the request for interest only. So the Bears are probably seeing that.
An upstart hospitality company has an audacious idea for a series of motorsports-themed hotels, starting with a $189 million project in Carmel. The company, Veloce Hotels, has been posting on social media that it is in the early stages of raising funds for projects that could turn Hamilton County into, quote, the Monaco of the Midwest. Veloce is looking to build hotels in Carmel, Indianapolis, Westfield, and Concord, North Carolina, altogether valued at nearly $700 million. South Bend-based Beacon Health System has opened a $21.7 million outpatient center in downtown Mishawaka. The health system says the decision on the new location was driven by growing patient demand for care and services closer to home. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader. A state senator has asked Indiana Attorney General Todd Rokita to investigate whether Maryville-based Northern Indiana Public Service Company's gas overcharging issues potentially violate consumer sales practices.
According to NIPSCO representatives, the company discovered in 2024 that some of its mechanical meter indexes were not functioning properly, leading to more than 3,500 customers overpaying for their gas usage. Company leaders say they informed the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission of the matter last fall, about a year after the issue was discovered. Although the IURC has started its own investigation, Republican Senator Mike Bohacek requested the state's top attorney also weigh in after several of Bohacek's constituents living in NIPSCO's service area raised concerns about increases in their energy bills. It's currently unclear whether the Attorney General's office will conduct its own investigation into NIPSCO's conduct. NIPSCO told Inside Indiana Business in a written statement Tuesday that the company proactively notified the IURC about the issue as it was identified and is continuing to communicate with its customers, both those impacted and not impacted. The utility said any customer who was overbilled will receive a refund for 12 months of usage pursuant to IURC rules and regulations. Bohacek's request for the Attorney General's intervention comes as the IURC kicks off a 10-session tour of the state as part of what the agency calls a broader strategy to better understand some of the underlying drivers behind energy affordability. Alex Braun, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A hit to the tourism economy in Northwest Indiana. The Mount Baldy access site at Indiana Dunes National Park will be closed from late March through mid-June as the National Park Service undertakes a sand management and shoreline stabilization project. Officials say sand has accumulated over the past decade, gradually burying portions of the Mount Baldy parking area and nearby sanitary infrastructure. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand.
You know, the economy and the market are in a hairy place these days. It's up a lot, it's down a lot, it's sideways, and it seems on the hour there's breaking news coming out of all areas of the country. How do you get your head around that? How do you not go crazy in the process? I'm Peter Dunn. You may know me as Pete the Planner, IBJ columnist, and my job for years it's been to help you understand your financial life better in context with everything else going on. So, what am I encouraging you to do? Well, listen to the Pete the Planner Show. Yeah, it's a podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, or simply listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.